18.
Oh, it must have shut me down.
If you answered a smart ass question, if you answered a smart ass answer to one of the,
Oh
there was
man,
there was two questions where you could get kicked out
I
automatically.
I got kicked out. I didn't even realize it until right now. Wow. Makes
Oh
sense.
man,
How am I not surprised by that?
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Well, well, the one question is like, well, should Pro League die? I think I answered yes. So
Yeah,
it
well, that's
ended
what
after
I'm.
that.
Well, now you understand why.
Oh, that's great. I had no idea.
Yeah, so you do that, like you actually do that on all sorts of questionnaires. Like it's just a standard. It's a standardized process, right? Whenever you
Who
do
is known as a
questionnaires.
rebel, so
What's that?
who is known as a rebel.
Yeah, he is.
A
He's a rebel
savage.
without applause.
It filtered me out. That's great. Working as intended. No, I think
Exactly.
it's great if people step up into volunteer positions. You know, Sath is a valued member of the community, and so is SK and Captor.
Yeah,
I think
and so
I think
like
we all appreciate.
Seth is doing a lot for PB right now, I think. Like I don't know if he's still helping out Ra and them. Oh, so while we're on it, oh my God, I just need to address this with you guys while you're here. So one of the big questions that people always ask is, why can't we just move to trench wars? Or why can't we just set up a new zone? Well, you can set up a new zone and you can move to trench wars, right? The problem is that you are going to have to recreate the zone settings yourself, and no one is willing to do that. And here's why. So when I spoke to Khan about moving to trench wars, Khan said, I need the config uh, file, the zone config file, which only Halu can give him. And I think I understand why Halu would be reticent to give that away, right? He's worked on this zone. He's worked on the bots for 15 years or however long it has been. I don't think that he owes anyone giving his work away, right? I don't think he owes that to people. So the the ship settings are posted in the forums. So you have all of that, right? You have all the ship settings. What you don't have are the other settings, like I don't know, the gravity settings or what other settings are in there. I spoke to Poyd about moving to whatever his zone is. And you got a few bigger hurdles in doing that. But again, he's his requirement is to have a config file, which Halu is not going to give him, and I'm not going to ask Halu to give that to someone. I don't think that's right. The point being is that if someone wanted to set it up, they've got everything that they need for the most part in those ship settings, because that's the most important part. And why nobody has done that as yet is because nobody fucking wants to,
Yeah.
right? So, whenever people say, why can't we move to trench wars? Well, we can, but Khan is the only coder over there. People think that trench wars has all these like uh, developer assets. They don't. They have Khan. He's the only coder over there, and he does not have time to fuck around trying to recreate all the bots and the database and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but if the bots go down, what happens to the zone? Nobody plays because people want their stats. They want the functionality that the bots bring, like you know, uh, keeping UG from ruining every prac. You know what I mean? So if the bots go down, nobody plays, and
Well,
so
that's
somebody's
his biggest asset. Halu's is the database. How the bots are integrated with his database, and
yeah,
it's all on his site. And
yeah,
he'll never let go of that, and nor should he, because there's a tremendous amount of work that went behind it.
yeah. So Underlord created it all, but for the last 15 or so years, ever since Underlord left the picture, all of the updates, and there have been several and many, like too many to count. All of the updates, all of the fixes when things fall over have been Hallowed, right?
Yeah, and you could, to your point before about his spaghetti code, you could sort of see it because there was a new bug introduced in whatever change he did last
Mm,
in
yeah,
the bot,
yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." When he changed something last time, it introduced a new bug.
yeah, yeah. That
So
happens. That
Here's my
happens
question.
when.
Here's my question to Halu though. I mean, yeah, he has his rights to all his hard work put into the codings and stuff like that. But here's
Hmm.
the thing. Let's say if Subspace or Chaos SVS dies, all his stuff that goes into it dies too. So is that how he wanted it, or what? I'm just not understanding.
No,
It's gonna
I
be
think that's a good question.
it's gonna
My
be useless. If nobody plays and his code is gonna be useless, right? So
yeah, that's very true. It'll just be him and his bots.
yep.
But that said, like, how much is it that feature requests are keeping people from playing? Like I already said, in the survey, people answered equally that, time and availability and skill requirements and toxic players are the reasons why people, you know, who used to play don't play anymore.
Mm, true.
So maybe I didn't offer uh, an option for feature requests, but I'm not sure what features we need added that are going to make a bunch of people go, oh shit, they got that now? I'm going back, you know? I mean, unless you can think of something. Like, I would like to see pracs be based on E-rate, right? And have them balanced out. But then to do that, you've got to be able to tie E-rate to the like user ID to one specific person and not allow, you know, that person to just reset their E-rate with a new name. Who's Satsiki?
Ooh, what?
Satsiki. Who is that in the
Oh,
in the voice
uh,
chat? Does anyone know?
I've seen him play a few times.
it's the same one as Atos. It's just a
Oh,
different name if you click on him.
okay.
Atos.
Right.
Captor's messing with us.
That's fine.
By the way, Jim, if you want to change a map or change the settings, you have to talk to Halo about that, or you can do it
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I have to. Halu's the only one that could do that. Actually,
Tzatziki.
excuse me. Hang on a second. Actually, let me correct that, Oded. Actually, KDAC has the ability to change some maps, but not settings, I believe. So
Yeah.
KDAC has some ability to do that, but I certainly do not.
All right. I really don't understand why he's keeping it so close.
I think he keeps it close because he doesn't want people fucking things up and causing him to have to go back in and fix it. Like, just since I've been sysop, and I'm fairly web savvy and code savvy, even though I'm not a coder, but I've been around it a lot. Um, even though I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff, I've fucked things up several times just since I've been sysop,
Yeah,
right?
but that's, you know, your learning curve.
Yeah, yeah, it is a learning curve, but the thing is that, you know, it just means more time out for him to come back in and fix those fuck ups. So,
Sure, sure,
you
sure.
know,
The butterfly effect when you mess with someone else's code. He changed
yeah,
one thing and he introduced 20 different bugs.
yep. And I get what you're saying too, Otis, like, you know, why why be so why be so protective over it?
Yeah, basically, he's having more work just because he doesn't delegate.
Well, that's not true. He tried delegating and has tried delegating several times, several times. I remember the people that he's delegated to. Hell, one of them was Simon, right? He's tried delegation, but those people have caused serious issues at some point or another, except for Crescendo. And then something happened
Yeah,
between him and Crescendo. I don't know what, but I'm not going to speculate because I don't want to put words in either of their mouth, you know?
yeah,
So that's that, you know. But I'm not here to just take up for Halu, even though it may seem like I am. I mean, you know, just like any of us, dude's got his faults, but some of the things that he gets beat up on frequently about, I think, are how should I say, like a misdiagnosis, right? It comes from people maybe not knowing the full history of things and so on and so forth. But other things, sure, fair game.
yeah. All right.
So I don't know, but I think it might be helpful if we start doing these kind of things a little more often. You know, it'd be good if we can get more people in because, like, the people that are here are the ones that I would expect to be here. You know, like, oh, before I go, I just want to say, recently we had one user, one longtime player, say that they would be willing to fund someone setting up a new zone and
Oh yeah.
all this kind of stuff. But they just needed someone to kind of project manage it.
I don't
Yeah.
know anybody who can actually. You need to code to fix the bot or create them create them from scratch altogether because it's a new server.
I
It's
know.
a monumental undertaking. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You get the settings, create bots, create a database, integrate
And
it with a website.
well, integrating it, you know, with the front end is probably the easiest part.
Yeah.
It's doing the back end work and creating the bots if you're using Subgame, and if you're using ASSS, then you use modules instead of bots, right? It's a different process, and I'm not sure if that's easier or more complex, but one thing that you are going to have to do is provide at least the same stats that we have currently, right? So that's kills, death, you know, wasted reps, blah, 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 so on and so forth, plus T rate and E rate at minimum. So whoever wants to do this has to reverse engineer Underlord's E rating formula.
Yeah, but if you look at the
It's
source
not just
code, that shouldn't be too hard.
but how are you going to get the source code?
I swear I saw the algorithm at one point.
Yeah.
For rate. I forget where I saw
Okay.
it, but I swear I saw the algorithm somewhere.
If you have that, that would probably like be an important thing to keep hold of.
Yeah. Oh, reset.
It's
Reset
not
is
just
always nice.
it's not just straight up ELO like they use in chess.
Aren't you an expert on this subject, actually?
Who, me? On
Yeah.
ELO? No.
Rating systems.
Well, I mean, I kind of made my own, but no, ELO is something different. So I don't know if I would say I'm an expert on it.
Hmm. Well, if it was in a language I know how to code in, I would definitely do it. But I think Crescendo is the only person I know that can actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, probably so. Maybe Cerium if he's around, but I don't know what happened to him. Like, he tends to pop in and out, and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make is that like I don't have the time to project manage something like that, and I'm not sure that like Palu is going to give over his code. I don't think he is. So it's a pretty daunting undertaking for anyone. So it's not just a matter of money. It's actually a lot of work. You know.
Yep. I think we should give the job to Runstar.
Hang on a second here. There's the source code for the rating formula for player stats. Is this for E rating or is this for T rating? I think this is just for T rating. Yeah. So T-rat is, you know, the players. Let's see, 500 rating, 2 kills. Yeah. So this. So
Yeah, I think it's just T rating here.
which is good. That's better than nothing. So
Where are you looking?
I don't know. Street found it somewhere on the site, on the stats
forum?
SVS Subspace site.
Oh,
Yeah, go to. Oh, where can I post this?
I mean, you can post it, like, you can post it in the main chat. It's fine. I don't think it's secret. So if you go there, that's for T rating, which is good to know. And I don't know if that would give us a clue into how E rating is calculated, but I don't think it does. I could be wrong.
Well, I don't think
have to-
E rating is an issue. I think it's 29 points in total versus
Okay.
the teams, and then just the
Okay.
odds. Yeah, it wouldn't be a problem calculating that formula, I don't think.
Well, the other thing too, Street, is that if everyone is kind of like starting from scratch, let's say you're moving to a new zone or a new biller or something like that. If all of this is being created from scratch, then you can come up with a new ELO type system.
Yeah, exactly.
And as long as everyone's being, you know, accounted for in the same way, then whatever. So.
Yeah,
But
that's why even here, you like when you use a new name, let's say, you start with 1,000. You don't start with 0.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
That makes sense. Look, chaps, I've got to bail because I gotta get some stuff ready for tomorrow morning. So, but we should probably try and do this. You know, I don't know if we should do this more often, and if so, I don't know how often, but maybe once a month would be helpful. And yes, I'm still trying to find someone that can help with doing an email, but it has to be regular. You know, at the very minimum, it has to be every other week. You know, and like I said, it has to be of sufficient writing level. And I'll try and get the write up on the survey done soon, because there's some interesting stuff in it, but I don't think too much of it is outside of what you guys would have suspected. Before I go, is there anything from the survey that's people wanted answered? Like, just going over the questions again. What type of season would you like? So by more than a 2-to-1 margin, people want draft league. Let's see which. Yeah.
You know, one question that I want to ask and kind of get an
Yeah.
answer on is
Sure.
how many hours are you playing on with other games and stuff like that? It's
Me?
interesting to know.
Oh,
No,
you mean other
yeah,
players? Yeah,
yeah.
that would be a good question. So keep hold of that, and whenever we do a survey in future, that would be a good question to ask. You know, how much of your time goes to other games? You know, if so, and then we could leave a place for them to write in what games are you playing. You know, if it turns out everybody's playing some other games, then maybe we all switch.
Looking for recommendations.
Yeah, you know, if we can all join. Fucking Candyman planned his like, what is it? His mobile game that he loves so much.
Sailor Moon.
Is that is that a? That's not a mobile game.
I don't know. That's
Let's see, I'm trying to think of what's weeknight. So this was something that I get a lot of. How likely are you to play in a weeknight North American league? And very likely was only 33%, which is a little bit less than what I thought it would be. I thought there would be a lot more people to play on a weeknight North American time league. Most people seem to agree that limiting ship types would not be the greatest idea. And in fact, what is the best solution to increase ship selection diversity? Nerf the warbird or buff other ship types, and like by a 5-to-1 margin, or excuse me, 4-to-1 margin, it's buff other ship types.
Ooh.
And also on the elements of map change, almost everyone wants to just keep the current map. Very few people like 27% voted for smaller map, but that's it. I mean,
That's it.
so, but the buff other ship types, that's a tricky question because, man, the ships are so delicately balanced.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it balanced.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. So, like, if everybody had said, "Well, just nerf the warbird," then that's kind of an easier fix than trying to buff all the other ship types so they will be equally, you know, effective or, you know, an equal opportunity. I was actually really hoping that people would want to limit the ship types per team, like you could only have one of a specific ship type in at a time. But apparently that's a really bad idea that the population just hates. So that won't be happening.
There's a large part of the population that just plays Warbird.
Yeah, I realize.
So they don't want to be forced to play different shit.
Yeah, and you know, I get that. I'm just trying to think of things that we could do that might make it either more interesting or, you know, make it more balanced. Like, do you put your best player in the Warbird, or do you put your best player in one of the other ship types and put your weakest player in the Warbird? I don't know, but it doesn't matter because everybody said, hell no. Right. So, but I'll try and get this written up in a format that everybody can read, and digest into bite-sized chunks.
I still can't believe you weeded me out. 2 questions in.
You and a few others, yeah. You and a few others. I think Player Killer got weeded out too.
Yeah, because
Imagine that. So anyway, right. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce.
Thank you
Good.
for your time, Jim.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks.
for your time, guys. I'll try and give more warning next time. I just popped in here today, but I'll try and give a little bit more advanced warning so people can have some time to think of questions and stuff. And then also I'll try and do this when we're not in the middle of matches in future. But yeah, need to think about this once a month at least. And if anybody else has other ideas, hit me up. Oh, and yeah, there just before I go, there will be a pro season, and I'm thinking about doing something that I don't know that I should do, and I'll tell you about that later. But I'm thinking about there being a special prize of some sort, and it's not naked pictures of DOJ.
But,
Ooh.
hey, you know what you're missing out though.
Yeah, I'm missing out on a lot of bad dreams is what I'm missing out on. So no, we'll cover that, but yeah, we're gonna do a pro season after this, but we need to figure out how many people we've got. I think, to make an 8-team league, we need 64 people. Because I really think that 8 players per team is the minimum. I don't know, Street might be able to comment on that too, but I think we can't really go below 8 players per team. And so we might only have like a 4 or a 5-team league at this point. And then we also need to figure out if we're going to have someone step up and do the draft, manage all that stuff. And if not, then we're going to be doing, classic stack league. So whatever. But anyway, I'm going to bounce. I will talk to you guys later. If you got questions, hit me up in PM and I'll try and answer them. But I'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Alright.
Talk to you later.
Ciao.
See ya.
Well, hi, I'm back. Oh, welcome.
Testing 1 2. You guys hear me? Anyone out there?